So this is a very special award. It's the Gil Hodges Unforgettable Fire Award. We always give it to somebody that exemplifies what Gil Hodges meant to the Mets, meant to his family, meant to the players, the organization. So right now, there is a person that meant so much to the Mets organization, meant so much to Mets fans, meant so much to everybody. There probably would be a QBC if Shannon Forde didn't invite bloggers into the Mets world. So Shannon Forde meant a lot to a lot of people. She meant a lot to the bloggers, she meant a lot to media, she meant a lot to the players. She touched a lot of lives. So I'm not very well spoken with stuff like this. I'm going to bring 3 people up that knew her well, that could honor her memory better than I ever could. So I'm going to bring up Mark Healy first, Greg Prince, and then Jay Horowitz. All right? So here's Mark.
Shannon was a really incredibly special person to anybody that knew her. Back at the very first QBC, I was asked to accept an award on her behalf. She wasn't able to make it. And I said the same thing then, and I'll say the same thing now. Wouldn't be standing here without Shannon. Shannon was the kind of person that, you know, even though you were independent media, even if you were a blogger, even if you worked for the New York Times, she treated you the same. And when Jay would be mad at me and not want to give me a credential, is he smiling? You know, Shannon got me any interview I needed, and she was always so helpful. And maybe I always used to say maybe she saw something in me, and that I was working so hard. But I realize now, with age and wisdom, that that's just the way she treated everyone. And without that interview I did once with Mike Piazza. I don't know if I sent her a book today. I don't know if I would have kept covering the Mets because it was difficult. You know, you're an independent guy. They don't, you know, they're a little worried about those guys working in the locker room. So she was just amazing. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Baseball needs more people like Shannon Forde, because she was just an amazing person, and she treated everybody like family. So I know her family's here today. Thank you for being here, and you know, just know that at least this person standing right here will always be eternally grateful to Shannon and you know, and how she helped me during my career. So thank you.
Very delighted to be a part of this, and happy we can all be here again together. And I'm happy that we're still talking about Gil Hodges. I just want to say a quick word about the award. And years ago, we did that because we realized so many people had no living memory of Gil Hodges. And it seems in the 8 years since we started the award that esteem for him has only grown. And his statistics are still just as good. The regard that his players have for him is still just as intense. And the only thing that's missing is that he's not in the Hall of Fame yet. Hopefully on December 5th, the Golden Days Committee will take care of that. So, so you know, we haven't forgotten the contributions of Gil Hodges. We haven't forgotten the contributions of our winner of the 2021 Gil Hodges Unforgettable Fire Award. Because as Gil did in a different context, she warmed hearts, she brightened spirits, and she lit the way for many. And that was the case with Gil. She was gone too soon. But we're fortunate that we have the opportunity to always remember who she was and what she still means to us. And so happy that we get the chance today to remember and honor Shannon Forde. Shannon worked for the Mets for 22 years, essentially her entire adult life. serving as Senior Director of Media Relations. Amidst and after the battle that unfortunately took her down, she was praised by everybody who came into contact with her for her skills, her professionalism, her trailblazing, most importantly, her humanity. She was, by every account available, a terrific person. And when she passed away too soon at the age of 44, all who knew her, the reporters, the broadcasters, the columnists, her colleagues, the executives, and the ball players all paid tribute to her. Baseball field is named after her in New Jersey, where she made her home. She's soon to enter the State Baseball Hall of Fame in New York, which will be her mark. I just want to point out something here. In the course of doing her job, Shannon went extra miles to reach out to a particular group that didn't exist within the baseball and Mets community. When she started at Shea Stadium in 1994, that would be the Blockers. Shannon took our little cohort seriously, maybe more seriously than some of us took ourselves. She invited us inside Citi Field to the spaces where most of us wouldn't have otherwise set foot. It was as if she ran around to a side entrance, held the door open for us and said, "It's okay, come on in, you guys belong here." You know, that meant the world to a bunch of people who were, quite frankly, not pros. Certainly not pros in the DBWAA sense. But, Shannon treated us as if we were. We believe we had a place there as people simply trying to tell the Mets story in our own individual ways to our readers, who simply want to understand the Mets in every angle possible. We, the fans who blog, represented the fans who ran. Shannon did not matter. She provided us a runway to hone our insights and present our team in ways we couldn't have otherwise. I've never forgotten that overarching decency Shannon showed us, nor the countless little kindnesses instinctively bestowed on us. And I don't think I need evidence, but I brought some anyway, this envelope, where if you can read the return address, it has a very distinctive handwriting, Forde. She sent me this about 10 years ago, next month. She had reserved space in the Mets program throughout the year for write-ups of each blog that she knew of. When I do Faith Here and Flushing with my friend Jason Fry was in, I think it was the last issue of the year, and she just said, "Here, I sent you a copy. I want to make sure you have one," and there's a note attached to it. "Let me know if you need any more." And I was just, who does that? Well, Shannon did that. Shannon's always doing stuff like that, and that adds up over a lifetime, a professional lifetime. Others who worked with her closely, knew what she was all about. I was blessed to just have, a couple of years of now and then contact. It's always stayed with me. So I'm really thrilled that we're dedicating the Gil Hodges Award to Shannon Forde's memory this year, and I'm really thrilled that somebody who knew her as closely, I suppose, as anybody could outside of her own family is here today, and that's Gil Hodges.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure for me to be here to talk about Shannon Forde. We next hired her as an intern in 1994. After 5 minutes of the interview, I knew she was a keeper. She had a presence about her. She was knowledgeable about baseball. You can see right away she was a good people person. You have to one thing about a PR person. There's like different facets you have to work with. There's the media, the players, the coaches, the front office, ownership. And Shannon had a unique ability to befriend everybody. And in the years that she worked with the Mets, I don't remember one person ever saying a bad word about her. When she passed away in March of 2016, no less than 9 Major League Baseball teams had a long silence for her. It's really remarkable. PR people are usually anonymous people in the background, but people at the Orioles, to the Angels, to the Rangers, of course, the Mets held a long silence for her. And, when I remember the office the day that she passed, we got probably 500 to 600 texts, letters, telegrams from former players, talking about Shannon. It was my honor, to work with her for 21 years, and she really left a deep impact on me. She was my right-hand person for a long time, and I'll always remember her as long as I'm still with the Mets and beyond that. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Anita Felicia. I guess we present her with the Gil Hodges Award.
accept this award on my aunt's behalf. I read a quote by the comedic genius Mr. Stan Lee that said that a person who helps others simply because it should or must be done, and because it is the right thing to do, is indeed without a doubt a real superhero. As I heard this quote, my immediate thoughts went to my Aunt Shannon. I knew she worked with numerous people, media persons, and outlets, charities, schools, organizations, fundraisers, basically anybody who would ask. And I remember when I was in my teens, I asked her why. Why do you do so much for so many? And she quickly and simply answered, because I can. That was the moment Shannon became my personal hero. After her diagnosis, my aunt continued to work, continued to help, continued to give, and continued to live and fight. And at that time, she became my superhero. After she passed, I figured out she was more than just my hero by reading the abundance of stories, blogs, articles, tweets, posts, etc. about her. It is so amazing and good to know how much she helped everyone and how she touched the lives of so many people. It is humbling to know that Shannon has made such a lasting impression. We as a family are extremely grateful for this honor that has been given to her, especially knowing she is the first non-player to receive it, as well as being the first woman. It is just such an incredible tribute. Thank you very much.